Alright, welcome back to another edition of Dropping the Buck with your boy, one of the hosts of the Buckbusters, but your solo host here for Dropping the Buck. Back for another currently bi-weekly, I guess, rendition. I guess you could say that. Whatever. It's fine. You all know it at this point, so here we go. So, looking forward to the games. Obviously, at the time of the recording, the games from Thursday, the 11th, are still going on, so unfortunately, I don't have all the exact stats from these evening's games going on, but by the time this gets uploaded, obviously it'll be Friday the 12th, looking at another wonderful Gary Bettman special. Obviously, the 13 games going on this evening, I'm not going to go over them. They're in the past by the time everybody listens and this goes live. So, going on to Friday the 12th, the two games that are going on. Thanks, fucking Gary Bettman. Not really a whole lot going on. You got two basement teams with the Blues and Blackhawks going on, and then some mid-tier teams with the Kraken going to Utah. So, again, nothing really major outside the fact that Logan Cooley will be missing for the next 8 months, or not 8 months, 8 weeks for the Utah Mammoth, which is a big bummer for them, considering how hot he has been for that Utah team, which is really disappointing because it's been fun to watch. It's been really fun to watch. So, going on, the second half of the Gary Bettman special for 13 games. 13. Like, you can't spread that out, Gary. You bum. But anyway, looking at some of the marquee, wonderful matchups. You got the Ducks and the Devils starting off that wonderful 13-game schedule at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Over there in Jersey, you got a mid-tier team, the Sharks, surprisingly in the playoff spot, and the one team that can never seem to win in shootouts with your Pittsburgh Penguins. Ready for another shootout loss. Then you got the Oilers and Maple Leafs. McDavid and the Oilers versus the ghost of his former self, Austin Matthews. Has been a real disappointment this season, unfortunately, but, I guess that's what you Toronto fans call poppy. Whatever, you do you. One of the two original six teams, two of the six original teams, six teams are playing, where the Bluecoats will host the Montreal Canadiens. Let's see if the Bluecoats can actually get another home victory, or if they can continue to play a spoiler against themselves on home ice. Let's see. Another two of the original six teams, Red Wings, Blackhawks, your typical, Midwest rivalry, although they're not in the same division or conference anymore. Obviously, we all know that matchup, or those matchups, are always a good game to watch, regardless of how well or shite these teams can be. And then to wrap out the night at 10 p.m. Eastern, it's the bottomless pit Flames versus the mid-tier Kings. And then the Sunday games. Sunday. The Flyers and Hurricanes play the second half of the night, back-to-back home-and-home matchups. Always fun to watch those fun Metro teams going up against each other. The Metro obviously has been, I think, the strongest division thus far into the season. Hands down. Every team's obviously above 500. 15 of the 16 teams in the East are above 500. We can probably guess who the 16th team is who is not above 500. We're not going to call them out, but that will really be a true saber to the gut there. And we got the Oilers and the Canadiens. Again, two prime Canadian markets there. Obviously, one from the original six, one from the WHA expansion or integration. I'm pretty sure it's integration there. Whatever. I'm going to call it a friggin' integration. And then the Sabres and the Crackheads that evening. So, a weekend mostly full with games, with wonderful games to watch. A weekend full of hockey, whether you play for an NHL team or whatever minor teams you might want to root for. Still going to be a fun weekend to watch as we really start to dive deep here into the holiday season. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And this is another one of your weekly renditions of Dropping the Buck. So I will see you guys later.